My name is Flo and I am cycling across Africa, 13,000 kilometers from Cairo to Cape Town. Welcome back to Project Africa. Egypt is full of wonders, full of culture and full of wonderful people, but also full of tourists, and rightfully so. There's so much to see here, and we want to see it too. But we are not your conventional travelers, and we won't show you the typical Egypt you see online. We want to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. We want to try the local food, we want to take the small roads, meet the locals. We want to cycle across the country. Now, let me introduce you the team, because it changes in every episode. First, you got Rob, who I'm cycling across Africa with. Then you got Tim, a Dutch hitchhiker who we met at the Sudanese embassy in Cairo and who decided to join us. And this is Shehab. Shehab is Egyptian, he loves adventures, and he loves Egypt, especially ancient Egypt. We met him in Cairo, and you might remember we spent some time together before embarking on this trip. He considered joining us for a few weeks in Egypt, and he will in a few days once he finishes his exams. He'll get to discover his country in a new way, to discover it our way, on a bike.
I'm just experiencing this for the first time with you guys, and I'm extremely excited, and I love adventure.
Now, every story needs a bad guy, so next up we have the enemies, the Egyptian police. They don't want us to cycle, they want us to take the car or the train to the next city. So every day, it's either hours of arguing to let us ride, or it becomes a game of cat and mouse.
I feel like in a video game, they keep coming out of nowhere.
Either way, we know that cycling isn't illegal, so we're committed to finishing what we started. And to be honest, our first week was intense. We were basically chased across the countryside by the Egyptian police, and it was as funny as exhausting. And luckily we had our friend Sharif, the snack king. He helped us a lot. He argued with the police on our behalf, and thanks to him we made it this far. But now it's time for him to go back to Cairo and to say goodbye.
Yeah, that's it. Now we're on our own. So stay tuned for next week. I don't know how we're gonna do it without him.
I think we will survive for 5 minutes and the rest follows itself.
Oh, and how can I forget the final members of the team? The kids. They are everywhere. They are so excited to see us, and they are so fun and welcoming. Okay, so now it's just Rob, Tim, and I. And our plan is to go all the way to Aswan to finish the first leg of the trip.
Cairo to Cape Town, day 9. Police is still following us. Sharif is no longer with us, unfortunately. And Tim is eating.
I'm eating an apple, unpeeled, so it's do or die, and we'll find out in a couple of hours.
So we try to stick to our plan, embrace the police, and keep going. We take small country roads and cross busy markets, and of course the police doesn't like it. The next couple of days, the arguing gets worse and worse, and thankfully Rob is here to talk to all the superiors on the phone in Arabic, but it's not easy.
Every time, every day, it's the same speech. Oh, you can. Yes, we can. We have all the right. No, you can't. No.
One day we had to forcefully leave, because if it were up to them, we wouldn't be doing this trip right now, and we'd miss out on so many beautiful experiences. The further we go south, the more ridiculous it feels to be escorted by the police. And to be honest, they probably feel the same way, having to follow foreigners into the countryside. But at the end of the day, they're just friendly guys, following orders. And some are really helpful. They replace our tripods and help us film.
Hello!
Hello.
How are you? Good?
How are you? I love you.
Good. I love you too.
But it's not until we arrive in the city of Sohag that the ridicule of the Egyptian police was revealed to us on a whole new level.
Cairo to Cape Town, day 11. Today is a rest day, and check out our new hats. We came down the stairs of the hotel, and of course there's a policeman waiting inside the hotel and outside the hotel. But now that we got the caps, we can do whatever we want, right?
In what world do they commercialize cabs written on it? Polic, where actual cops wear them, and it's also sold for civilians.
With our newfound power and authority, we go for a walk around the city. I mean, nobody would dare to approach us with our Polic caps.
We got 3 bodyguards today. We got Rob here, we got Tim, and we got the... Where is he?
No.
Right
This
there.
is the fella that we keep safe. We protect him today.
Okay. Balik.
As we keep walking along the river, I see it.
I know.
The cherry on top of the cake. This young officer proudly wearing his Polic cap, completely unaware of the massive spelling mistake on his forehead.
This country is full of surprises, man, I swear.
You can get the Polic to take pictures of you wearing the Polic hat.
The Polic is the highlight of the trip, that's for sure.
He's the tripod today. It's a new day and we have a new police car and we also have a new adventure companion.
It's all bubbly.
Did you put soap inside?
No.
I'll put some coffee inside yesterday.
Oh, okay. Where's Shehab? Here's Shehab. Hello.
I made it.
He's crazy. He took an overnight bus and arrived here at like 7 in the morning. We have 90 kilometers to go today.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fun.
The next 3 days we cycle from Soheg to Luxor. And although it is his country, we initiate Shehab to our way of life and the joys of traveling by bike. Starting with the joy of finding the best tamia in the neighborhood. It's a staple of Egyptian cuisine and every place makes it slightly different, which keeps every morning exciting.
Today we're riding all the way to Luxor, but before that we're getting breakfast. It's Friday morning, so everything is closed in Cana except this place, which is a tamia place. And everyone in the neighborhood comes and gets them here in the morning. How often do you eat tamia?
Technically speaking, just once a week.
But if you could, you would every day.
Yeah, if I could, I'd do it every second. But it's just once a week. Like on Fridays, family breakfast, we eat together.
Nice. How much was it? We need to pay?
42.
42?
Yeah.
That's $2.
Yeah, for 12.
For 12. Not less. $1.50 for 12.
No, even less. 120.
Wow.
For 12.
The kid's making fun of you.
It feels alive.
If you walk around Egyptian streets in the morning, you'll see a lot of kids picking up deliveries on bikes to bring home. And sometimes they're a bit too big for them. However, fully grown adults cycling across the country is a big liability, and so arguing with the police to allow us to continue riding is also a part of our morning routine, and it is about to become Shehab's as well.
I'm the only Egyptian. The police want me to take care of you. They want to contact me. I hate it. It's my first time to shout at a police officer, so I'm really happy, to be honest.
A little adrenaline is also part of the adventure, so I had to introduce him to the thrill of running away from them as well.
We are running from the police!
We escaped the police. We slowed down very slowly and then we took a left onto a bridge and now we're like in the middle of the fields. Should we go left or right? Let's take this road.
Yeah, let's go left.
Despite being escorted for 800 kilometers, sometimes we are able to forget that they are there for short moments and enjoy the freedom of being on a bike and the peace it can bring. We have time to think about this crazy journey that we're on and to appreciate it. Egypt is a beautiful country and we are so lucky to be able to explore it this way. We can go on quiet roads with few cars, witness beautiful landscapes, stop to greet farmers who wave as they see us cycle by, and as we keep going, the landscapes only get better and better.
Carried to Cape Town, day 12. Today we're with Shehab. We've already cycled 73 kilometers today.
It's my record!
So that means with every pedal stroke he's breaking his own records.
Yeah, new record.
Continuing to cycle down the Nile Valley. It's green, getting narrower as we go south, so we can see the mountains as well in the distance.
I've never been in this part of the country, so I'm enjoying it. The weather is amazing, the scenery is amazing, and it's so fun. I'm happy.
It's a really sustainable way to travel. If only we didn't have like 2 truckloads of cops with us all the time.
Yeah, like a million cops all the time. like this guy.
That's a cop? I've never seen this before. Every day we unlock a new level and they unlock a new level as well.
Hi.
Assalamu alaikum. Big truck, eh?
These are the reasons we like to cycle. To see the real Egypt, to stop and to play football with the local boys whenever we have the occasion.
The sun is set. We still have like 20-30 kilometers to go. So we're gonna ride through that anyway, so why not just have fun? And that's why we're gonna stop and play football now.
Where are you from? Netherlands. Oh, Ajax, Van Dijk. Today it's Van Dijk.
Another benefit of taking the small, remote roads is that we're able to meet and interact with locals who probably never see foreigners.
What's your name?
Flo.
Wana Mustafa.
مصطفى
ناصر محمد
السلام عليكم شكرا
تفضل
شكرا
الله يخليكي.
من القاهرة مع عجلة
وجاي من القاهرة؟ وجاي عندنا؟
نعم مع عجلة إلى أسوان.
وراح أسوان؟
نعم راح أسوان.
أحلى حاجة
شكرا
أنت عسل والله. أنت حلوة والله.
شكرا.
اشرب شاي.
You see, here people invite you for tea before they even know your name.
It's been 12 days since we left Cairo, and it's been 12 days since we saw any other foreigner. We haven't seen a single foreigner or tourist in 12 days.
But this was going to change very quickly when we arrive in Luxor. As we cycle into the city, I quickly realize that the atmosphere here is going to be very different to everything we've just lived.
700 kilometers. We made it to Luxor. That's why there's a lot of tour buses. Home sweet home for tonight. Rob is sleeping here. I'm sleeping here. Me. Like, my stuff is all here. Tim is sleeping there. Shehab is sleeping here. We have 2 spare beds for... I don't know. Now we're just waiting for Rob to finish his business meeting so that we can all go and get dinner. Let's go.
We decide to spend a few days here to rest, to explore, and to learn about ancient Egypt. Luxor is known to be the world's largest open-air museum. It's home to the Valley of the Kings, and today we're going there. To reach it, we have to cross over to the western side of the Nile with a short ferry ride.
We crossed over by ferry. It was £5 each, and now we're getting a taxi to the Valley of the Kings. How much was it?
It was 150, but Egypt is negotiable with everything. We negotiated down to 60.
Cairo to Cape Town, day 15. Today we're in the beautiful, beautiful Valley of the Kings in Egypt.
The Valley of the Kings is one of the most spectacular destinations in Egypt. It was a burial ground for Egyptian royals, and this is where the pharaohs were buried over 3,000 years ago. So we want to visit these underground tombs, and it feels like we're entering a different universe. It's truly a mesmerizing place, with a new detail to observe everywhere you look. For anyone who loves history, especially ancient Egyptian history, this is the place to be.
This place is so fascinating. I could stay here for hours and hours and not get enough.
Luxor is full of ancient gems, and a few days is not enough to see everything it has to offer. But we try to make the most of it, and my favorite site is Madinat Habibu, home to the temple of Ramses III. Every inch of this place is magnificent. The large columns, the delicate hieroglyphs. It's feeding my curiosity, but also leaves me with more questions.
They were so creative. There's so many tiny details and so many colors and so many meanings behind every single one of these hieroglyphs. There was so much time and effort and care that was put into this. It just makes you wonder, like, what did people live like at the time? What did they do with their days? I wish there was like a time machine and you could just go back 3,000 years or 4,000 years and just see how people lived and what they worried about every day and what they did for fun and what they imagined the future to be like. 'Cause nowadays we have these mediums of communication and we have these ways of documenting our lives and documenting our hopes and dreams for the future. All the future generations from now on are gonna have so much, like a huge database of what our lives are like nowadays, because we're always on our phones, we're always like filming stuff and taking photos. I am so happy that we're traveling by bike because it means that we're not in a rush. We don't have a plane to catch in like a week or 2 weeks. We can just take our time, explore, and feed our inner curious kids with information and knowledge, and it's just...
I was just in a quiet area at the end of the complex, and I came back and it is absolutely packed with tourists. If you ever come to Luxor, definitely try to come like super early in the morning, like between 7 and 9 maximum.
That's one lesson we learned very quickly. Come to the sites very early if you want to enjoy them in peace. But the place having lots of tourists can also make Luxor a funny place to visit, as the locals learn new ways to interact with us.
It's so funny.
The driver asked him, "Where are you from?" Tim says, "I'm from Holland."
drive you to Karnak.
It hurts because it's true.
We're inside the Karnak temples and it is absolutely incredible. It's just blowing my mind, and we haven't even entered the main part of the complex. We're still in the forecourt, but we don't know anything about this place because we don't have a guide. But that's okay because we have Tim, and Tim is infiltrating all the different tour groups.
Yeah, I'm your spy guide for a day.
Tim, what did you learn? Tell me.
Okay, so just now I learned that you see this statue over there?
Yeah.
It's basically propaganda, why they use it. Nowadays you have Facebook and you just throw fake news on it, and that's how you get people convinced to vote for a certain president or something. Mm-hmm. Back in the time you had to do a different approach. Just build a giant statue, so all the people that came here thought this king must have been a good king for them to build a statue this immense and this beautiful.
That's crazy.
Yeah, let's infiltrate some more tourists.
Yeah.
This is the most impressive complex of temples that I've ever seen. There's just the scale of it is out of this world. It's insane. How do they make these columns? How do they bring them here? How do they make this? How do they decorate it? And there's still remains of colors on the ceiling as well. So this place must have been so colorful back in the day.
These boards are actually really useful. There's all these photographs of when the temples were first discovered and they started digging it out. I just cannot imagine what it must have felt like to come across this and dig it out from under the sand. It must have been otherworldly. Like, it's just incredible just looking at these photos. I just read that in this specific courtyard that I'm in right now, they found in one digging like 700 statues in stone and 17,000 statues in bronze. Just in the one corner of this little courtyard of this major temple complex. It just blows my mind, the amount of history, the amount of vestiges and the amount of information there we can find. And these things that we find are the only pieces of information that we have to understand how those people lived. They're the things that survived thousands of years.
We stay in Luxor for a few days, cycle around without our stuff on it.
Today's a rest day here in Luxor. This bike without any weight and bags is so fast and freeing. I'm now realizing how much weight we're carrying.
And we spend most afternoons doing work.
Doing some work here in Luxor. It's actually really nice to be able to stop for a couple of days and just have a little bit of a routine. We've been doing a lot of sightseeing in the morning and working in the afternoon. Getting the videos out there for you guys.
I work super hard to make the best videos possible of my adventures, so please subscribe to follow along and sign up to my Patreon. And thank you so much for watching. Your support means a lot.
You guys, this is my favorite part of traveling. Like, we just came back from the restaurant and there's a couple of boys playing football outside. So Rob decided to join them. And the girls just took me to their little corner here. And they're all here and now I have a lot of new friends. And the boys are playing football right here. ما اسمك؟ ريناد.
ملك.
ملك. وأنتي؟
بتول.
بتول.
سجدة. نور فريدة.
فريدة. تعرفنا وأنا اسمي؟ فلو. نعم.
تعمل تيك توك؟
نعم.
طب يلا نبدأ.
Now that the kids also follow my adventure on social media, it's time to actually continue the adventure.
Today we're going down south to Edfu. It's a 110 kilometer day. It's gonna be the longest day on this trip so far. Just another day of riding.
Ready?
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 Klaar om te gaan.
Okay. And you don't get to see views like this every day, do you? First 10 kilometers done, we're out of the city. Hey, time for a snack. 20 kilometers in, we're stopping in this little town for some breakfast. It's past 30 kilometers, I'm feeling good. 50K, only 50 more kilometers to go. The Nile is getting larger and larger. And then you have the contrasting desert right there.
Oh my god, this is so magnificent. I can't believe this is in my country. I haven't seen this before.
70K and the police is following us once again. That's the disadvantage of these empty roads. It's very easy for us to be found. Good? Yeah. 80 kilometers. My knees are starting to hurt a lot. Whoa! First few pedal strokes after a break are tough. My knees hurt a lot. I'm really hot. I'm overheating, and this is like an uphill part as well. I'm surrounded by desert. I'm starting to get scared for Sudan. Sudan's gonna be really hard in terms of the physical challenge and in terms of the conditions that I'm gonna be cycling in. In Egypt, the conditions have been great. It was all flat, weather was nice. From now on, it's only gonna get hotter and hotter, more and more difficult. Almost 90 kilometers, and I thought by now I'd be totally exhausted, but actually I feel super energized. I don't know, I feel like today is the day where it actually is starting to hit me, that I'm cycling across Africa. Yeah, the changing landscapes and smells and temperatures, and even the people are starting to look different because we're approaching Nubia. So far it's been, 20 days almost on the road, but today is the day where I start to feel it. That it's actually real, it's happening. We're doing this. We're doing this! Rob, I have good news.
What?
100 kilometers! How do you feel?
Great.
110 kilometers! And we've made it to Edfu. Almost. We're crossing this huge bridge over the Nile. And when we get to the other side, it's gonna be Edfu. Crazy! I'm so proud of myself.
The long distances in Egypt aren't the only challenges we face. Indeed, when you travel by bike, things can go wrong. Especially when you buy a second-hand bike for $80, just like Tim did. To be honest, I'm surprised the bike made it this far.
How's your bike setup going?
My gears are like tripping, I have like a burst in my wheel.
Last week, I also got sick and rode with a fever for many days. And this week, Rob hurts his ankle, and it's Tim's turn to feel unwell. And facing these challenges, I'm so happy we're not alone, because it's important to have teamwork and to help each other.
Thanks! Hey!
The legend Perseveres. It survived.
And if we learned one thing from Sharif, who was here with us last week, always eat a lot of snacks. So in his honor, we did just that.
What is the time?
Snack time!
Next time!
Do you want a peanut? Here. Here. This is one of my favorite things to do, is just stop on the side of the road and get some fresh fruit that was grown like 50 meters away from here probably. And every time we stop, we attract a crowd of kids. They're just so curious. They're as curious to meet us as we are.
Hello.
Hello!
Hello.
Hello!
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Watermelon time, little break on the side of the road.
Yeah.
I love watermelon.
Juicy.
As we continue cycling south, we also discover a new, very delicious snack that's actually growing all around us.
The sun is setting and we're completely surrounded by sugarcane fields.
You can eat it from the stick or drink it as a juice, and Rob especially became obsessed with it.
We're on our way now to the Edfu temple. Apparently the ancient monuments only get better as you cycle south to Aswan. Shukran.
The Edfu temple is located between Luxor and Aswan and is the most completely preserved temple in Egypt, as it was entirely buried by sand until it was discovered in excavations in the mid-19th century. A lot of tourists come here to visit, and most actually arrive by horse carriage.
Our experience as travelers is so different to the foreigners' experience as tourists. They came probably by boat on the Nile or a cruise or something, onto the horse carriages, to the temple and back. They don't really get to see the real Egypt. I don't know, it makes me kind of sad because over the last 3 weeks we've been getting to know Egypt and what it's like to live here and what the locals are like, what the food is like, and just what life is like. And it's just been an amazing experience. Don't get me wrong, the temples are amazing, but that's not been the highlight of our trip. And that's all they get to see. So it's, I don't know. What do you think? Let me know. What would your ideal way to travel be? Are you more of a tourist kind of person? You just want to go see what you want to see? Or are you more of an explorer and traveler and want to know the country, how people live there? I'd be really curious to know. Let me know in the comments. This is the price that I'm going to be paying. This is the price that Shehab's going to be paying.
It's so expensive. I need to pay like £20.
It's nothing. We have to pay 200.
It's what? It's 60 cents? I'm not going in.
Shehab just started learning how to read hieroglyphs. There's a whole notebook, and so he's going to try to practice today.
I can read and pronounce. I have no idea what.
Oh, there's pronunciations for each of the words?
There's 500 different pronunciations.
Wow. First thing I'm noticing is that the pillars here have like a little flower on top. And that makes it so different to any of the other pillars we saw.
Basically, this temple wasn't built by one person, so everyone came and added his like
touch to it.
Yeah. Kitim. Khirtim and kitim and then it goes on.
That is so cool that you can read that. That is so cool. Like imagine in a couple years from now.
We will come back here in a couple of years with Shehab, and we're gonna like read the full temple. I want to have a story, man. I want to have the full story.
This is so many sentences, so many sentences. This is probably a word, and then that's a word, and then that's a word, and that's a word, and that's a word, and that's a word. So.
And they're all different. Like this sentence is different to this one, and this one, and this one.
It's so big. This is like 100 meters.
And there's this side as well.
And then there's this side.
Tim, what do you have to say?
I'm astonished by the complexity of it. Look at all the signs here. I think 5 centimeters for a hieroglyph, and it's like all over the place. Everywhere you look, you see a new word, new sentences, new stories. It's incredible.
Look at this. It's like an ib. This on its own is not a word.
So this is a part of a word, like a letter or 2 letters.
It's so fascinating how the letters that make up the words are things that it can recognize, like a vase or a water droplet.
Yeah.
Things that everyone can visualize and understand. You don't have to necessarily be literate to know them.
Imagine this, he was dancing like
Yeah, props. I want me carved on a wall like that. Just like this. After 5,000 years I figure out what it is. But it's like this kind of dance.
By the way, this is behind the scenes of Tim's videos.
Dit is dag 141 van mijn liftavontuur naar Hongkong.
Let's go, guys. That was such a fun little stop on the way. She wasn't even a stop.
Selfie.
This is not a picture.
What a scam.
Did the picture. We actually need to get the day started now. We did like maybe 1 kilometer out of 60 we need to do today. So let's get food, let's get water, snacks, and let's hit the road.
From Edfu, we cycle south along the river to a city called Komombo. It's the usual. Highways, police, lots of kids, pretty views, and of course, snack stops.
We were taking a break and just talking about the fact that we didn't have any more food, and this man here came from heaven with a donkey and so many snacks.
What's the name?
Hello, my name is Flo.
And once the night falls, we are back on the road, followed by flashing blue lights. Except this time it feels different.
Tomorrow the plan is to reach Aswan during the day, so I guess this is the last time we're being escorted by the police at night. Isn't that crazy? Like, it's making me feel a bit sad. I honestly didn't think I was gonna say this, but
You're gonna miss it.
I'm gonna miss it.
I'm gonna miss this so much, bro.
What a journey it's been.
Sugar cane and policeman.
Yeah, you got it! I'm very curious to see where we're gonna end up tonight. It seems that we're going towards the Komombo temple. Wait, are we going inside the temple right now? No way, no way, no way, no way!
Yep, I guess we're sleeping on ancient temple grounds tonight. The only hotel in town is fully booked, and we refuse to be driven to Aswan, so the police has to forfeit and let us camp somewhere.
This is the sleep setup for tonight. 4 of us in this little square right at the foot of the temple. So we get to visit first thing in the morning. It's something to look forward to. Good morning! We woke up at the foot of the temple of Komombo. That is a story we're gonna be cherishing in a couple years' time. It's not been the most comfortable nights, or the warmest, or the most relaxing, but it's definitely very, very special to be waking up right here. Then we get to ride into Aswan during the day, the gateway of Africa.
Hello there.
Morning.
So how much should I pay you to pack my stuff?
Are you excited to get to Aswan?
Yeah. We're coming to an end. Really excited, to be honest.
Rise and shine, people. Tim? Good morning.
Let me cook in peace. I was cooking my breakfast.
Your hand is full of bites.
Bites of mosquitoes?
Show me your hand.
Is today the last day?
Yes.
Let's go! Let's go.
What an epic, epic location for a temple. It's just on the Nile, so some people come by boat and they can just walk up the steps and go right into it. It's so beautiful. Very different from the temple that we went to yesterday in Edfu with all the horses and the chaotic city and the hecticness, but this is like way calmer. It's just so nice to be here. Like, we're one of the first tourists here in the morning and it's just so nice. These monuments are just getting more and more impressive as we go south. This right here is a well. When I picture a well, I just picture a hole in the ground, This is like so intricate and it's so well designed, and it has like a staircase inside. It's just so fascinating to me. Like, how do they build these things? It's been the most enjoyable experience visiting an old monument or a temple in Egypt. For me, the pyramids was a nightmare. Luxor was okay, but it was very overwhelming because of the number of tourists that was there. But this is just so peaceful. And there are a couple of tourists here because it's past 8 a.m, so a lot of people are coming in now. But it's still very, very peaceful. It's just a very enjoyable experience. Just to walk around, you can hear the birds. There's a beautiful, beautiful view on the Nile. And we slept at the foot of it, so we didn't even have to ride our bikes here. Leaving the temple. Shukran, bye-bye, ma salama. And I covered up every single piece of my face that I could because I noticed this morning that I was a bit sunburned from yesterday. So today we are not taking a risk. Daily breakfast. Tamie. I'm so excited.
Tamia, and then there's salad, and then there's potato, and then there's eggplant, a lot of onion, a lot of pickles, lemon.
This is my favorite Tamie place ever. Me too? This is like... It's after an amazing start. I wish I could eat more, like I wish I had more space to eat more. Before getting to Aswan, there's one thing that I really want to see. I read about it in the Lonely Planet guide. It's a huge camel market south of Kumambo. Since we're on a bike, we can just go and stop there. So we're gonna take a left, check it out. I'm so excited. I think we're going in the right direction because there's a huge camel truck right in front of me. This is such a hectic scene. Truck full of camels, truck full of sugarcane, police car, Shehab's bag is falling apart. Hello! And the policeman is so nice. Like, they just came over and gave me a sugarcane stick. Yum! It's so sweet.
Cheers, guys.
It was such a nice break. And the cold sugarcane was amazing. Shehab, your setup is it's it's the last day. It's fine if it breaks down now. I want to see what it looks like. I'm trying to look over the fence, but it's huge. We're taking the police sightseeing today, eh? Wow, this is actually way bigger than I thought. It extends behind as well. Have you ever been to a camel market, Tim?
No, I have that in Amsterdam.
Did you guys know that camels drink salt water and can stay in the desert for 2 months without eating anything?
They can carry like up to half a ton. They walk in like sand. They climb mountains. It's very magnificent because these creatures are so stronger than us, but their eyesight sees us humans as like very big objects. That's why they're afraid of us.
Their eyelashes are so long. Wow. Girl, what's your mascara?
Finally, we cycle from the fields to the main roads to finish the last dozen of kilometers before Aswan.
Whoa! Oh my god, I can't believe it! Finally! I love Aswan so much!
Wow! Your first time riding to Aswan, eh?
Yeah, it's my first time taking this road. I always take the train or the plane.
Wow.
So I don't ever see anything.
We have like 20 kilometers probably left.
That's it, we're about to make it to Aswan. 20 days and over 800 kilometers, we have successfully cycled all the way from Cairo despite the police trying to stop us every single day.
We've made it to Aswan! We made it!
After 2.5 weeks on the road, we finally arrived in Aswan. Egypt, you've been beautiful.
It is surreal. What a ride it's been. We had lots of ups, lots of downs, we learned so much along the way, and we made new friends for life. But our adventure in Egypt does not end here. We still have a while to go before reaching the border with Sudan, and before that, we'll enjoy some well-deserved rest in this beautiful city and explore the both famous and hidden gems of Aswan, the gateway to Africa. Because this might be the end of one chapter, but it's still only the beginning.
Not the end as well. We have a lot more to do together, a lot more to explore. Yeah. I'm excited for the next couple days.
Yeah.